On Threads recently, my homegirl, the retreat maven, Catherine Searcy, posted a question. She said, can healers be entrepreneurs? And I asked this same question on Facebook Live last night, and I don't know why I did it on Facebook. I know damn good and well all my healers and light workers are over here on Instagram. Everybody on Facebook is like, what is a healer? What is a light worker? So I'm going to ask this question over here. To all my light workers, my healers, my empaths, my intuitive oracles, my women that do the type of deep work that doesn't necessarily isn't perfectly packaged and boxed up as the term coach, even though that's the best word that fits it, and we do a lot of coaching, right? For those of us that do that, can we be in authenticity? Can we be in alignment? And can we be what's the word I'm looking for? Can we be integrity? Can we be authentic? And can we be aligned and still be healers and still be entrepreneurs? And so again, I did this question last night on Facebook, and I don't think that a lot of my Facebook audience understands or resonates with the term healers and light workers. They understand the term coach. They understand the term a lot of things. But I popped off on this last night on Facebook, and I felt like I should express my views here where they're probably going to be understood a little bit more. So when she first asked this question on Threads, I was like, of course we can. Like, I immediately went to be the armor bearer for entrepreneurship. I was like, of course we can. I see people do it all the time, yada, yada, yada. And I gave all these reasons for why and what we can do and how we can do it differently and how we can reclaim it and how we blah, blah, blah. And all that's well and good. It really is. But then I thought about it from the perspective of, then I take it back to my biblical days. I started thinking, because I'm going to be honest, like, the more I step into the role of a healer, right? I'm not talking about fitness coach, because that's where I came. Let me start there. When I came to the defense of can healers be entrepreneurs, the first thing I thought of was a coach. And I want to differentiate. Let me start there. Let me differentiate between a coach and a healer. A coach can be a healer, and a healer can be a healer probably can be a coach as well. But when you're stepping into that space of, like, because I'm seeing I'm seeing some of my old business coaches go into the healing workspace. And then I also see influencers who are healers, and I'm more or less erring on the side of influencers being healers. And here's why. I have created a business, a brand, a platform that not only promotes physical healing or restoration in the form of fitness coaching, but my platform also heavily does the light work behind the scenes, right? The work that happens underneath the surface, so that our women can get those lasting physical results, because your physical world is only a manifestation of your internal world. And so when we watch women go through weight loss programs and end up losing their way or ending up back where they started within a year's time, it's not because of their genetics that just unwound all the work that they did. It's because there is something internally, whether it's a mindset or something internally, whether it is a wound, that keeps resurfacing. And until we get to that work, it's not going to be healed, right? It's going to keep recurring. So here's the difference. When I see influencers doing light work and healing and stuff, it resonates with me more, because they don't have that financial attachment or obligation to the outcome. When your business, and especially when it's a personal brand like what I have and what a lot of us have, when you have a personal brand that is doing highly transformative spiritual intuitive work, and you are not at the top of the food chain. Let me emphasize that really well. And you are not someone who is already at the 7 and 8 figure mark and you have disposable income. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You will be emotionally attached to that business, because it's your work, it is your gift, and it's also how you pay your bills. I don't know about other people, and maybe I'm just not there yet on my journey. I will be humble, I'll say that. But it is very hard to not be emotionally attached to your business, the outcome, the income, when it's your baby. And when it's healing work, it can almost end up being tainted because of the way that you have to do business tactics to convince people to do healing. And me and my team were talking about this. We're like, we don't want to force anybody to heal. Yes, we know that there's resistance. And like as a coach, as a fitness coach, I have to coerce people into working out. I have to coerce people into investing in themselves, because if they don't, they're going to end up blowing that money later on hospital bills. They're going to end up blowing that money later on all the pills, the tips, and the tricks that they're trying to take to stay healthy when they could have just hired a trainer. So it's unfortunate, but it's the real truth. As a fitness coach, I have to do the hard sales. As a fitness coach, I have to persuade people to do that kind of work. As a healer, it doesn't sit well for me to like, you need to get healed. You need to do beta work. You have to. And if you're not doing it, you're missing this. Like, it's so hard. Like, it just doesn't feel very aligned. And so that question of, can us healers be entrepreneurs? It depends on what kind of healer you are. One, I feel like unless you are already doing unless you are at a place of like financial stability aside from your healing practice, it's going to be hard. Why? Because the energy in which you do your work shines through, like it shines through in your business. So when I'm stressed or when I'm in a state of scarcity, I'm going to show up online different than when I'm doing really well and I'm unattached to, okay, 10 women signed up this month, 1 woman signed up this month. But when it's the only thing that you're doing, it's very hard not to become emotionally attached to it. What were the other points that I brought up? The fact that, I'm trying to remember everything that I said on the Facebook Live last night. Oh, going back to coaching or looking at it as a spiritual practice, whichever way you want to do it, it is a very personal thing. Personal coaching, personal training, like it's a very personal thing. And what we saw happen last year and in 2020, 2021 was that people, opportunists, saw this space as a way to make a lot of cash. And so coaching went from how can we help get people the best results? How can we transform people, right? And work with them on a one-on-one basis and get them to individualize results to, well, no, what's the same process that you take every client through so that you can package up and scale it? What is that process that you do? And any coach that I know, we have our processes, but we also have a toolkit, which means this client, Jasmine, may need something different than Desiree may need something different than Jaleese needs something different. There's a process, but we use different tools. And so it isn't always the best ways to package and scale something are things that are products. I think the best way to package and scale something is a product. Transformation and healing is not a product, it's a process. I think I just had a light bulb moment for myself for why I felt so frustrated about when everyone's telling me to do this and do that and change this and scale it faster. I'm like, I'm not trying to scale as fast as possible, because from what I've seen on the outside, all the people that scaled as fast as possible rode that wave and now it's coming down just as fast as they went up. I'd rather ride that wave and build a solid foundation. Exactly. Healing happens on its own timeline. And if you guys have noticed, I went from, all right, I don't do 3-month programs anymore. They're 6 months. And okay, we don't do 6 months. It's not just 6 months. We have a membership. So stay as long as you want. The reason why I'm doing all those things isn't because I can't figure out what to do in my business. It's because I'm watching what is happening. And I felt like shit as a coach and as a healer telling women in 90 days, I'm going to help you as a life coach transform your life. And in 90 days, yeah, we did open their eyes to a lot of different things. In 90 days, they did see a lot of themselves that they didn't see. In 90 days, we did accomplish a lot. But the truth of the matter is that in 90 days, not everybody's going to get the same results. And that goes for fitness or for healing, right? And so as someone that wants to live in integrity and actually do the healing work, I've had to ask myself, am I in integrity? Am I in alignment? And am I in my full authenticity to be a full-time entrepreneur when I'm not at the place of financial stability outside of my business? My financial stability, everything comes from my business. And so therefore, I'm going to be emotionally tied to the well-being of the business. And if the business isn't like bringing in enough money, then I have to compromise my integrity and start either charging more than I want to or creating things that aren't in alignment with who I am. And then how am I helping facilitate you in that process when I'm still trying to heal from the decisions that I had to make that were out of alignment so I could keep my business afloat? That's the real tea. Catherine, I'm elaborating on that question that you posed, and I actually had a change of heart. Me and my team were talking about it. But the last thing that came to mind, I've already covered most of everything that I said on Facebook yesterday. The last thing that came to mind, and God hit me. He's like, hey, Bonds. I'm like, what's up? He's like, so Paul. I'm like, I remember Paul. He's like, Paul was a light worker and a healer. I was like, yes, he was. He's one of the best. Even though he's batshit crazy, he's, one of the best. He's like, Paul had a job, didn't he? I was like, damn, Paul did have a job. He's like, Jesus, you remember Jesus? I'm like, I do. He's like, Jesus had a job too, right? He's a carpenter. I'm like, he was. And he's like, and guess what? Both of them got taken care of by the community. And he's like, so what I understood from that is that healers and light workers, yes, we get taken care of by the community, by the people that do pay us for our services, right? And there's no shame in us having a job that detaches us from the emotional attachment of how well is this business performing? What do I need to change so that I can get more people to pay me? Because when I'm operating, yeah, Catherine, you sent us through a freaking, girl, you messed us up. You messed us up in the best way with that question. Because how I started it was, when you asked that, I immediately felt triggered to defend entrepreneurship. Because as a fitness coach, yes, hell yeah, as a fitness coach, I can be an entrepreneur. As a light worker, though, as that healer version of me, though, that's a different question. And it's also making me think about how the business is set up and how I want to go about doing things. And I think that is where the biggest piece of cognitive dissonance has been in my business. Not my inability to pick a niche, not my inability to want to scale faster, but because I was like, guys, I'm doing two different things. I'm a fitness coach, which is an actual profession worldwide. It's like, you go to school, you get paid for it. And then there's the light work. That is something that is called, that is divinely inspired. And if you want to take it to the other level, I also think of coaching as a calling for a lot of people, just like teaching. A lot of people are teachers that shouldn't be teachers, but there are people that are called to teach and do it well and will do it the rest of their lives, no matter how little or how much they make. And that's how I feel about coaching. I will do this for the rest of my life, no matter how little or how much I make, because this is a calling for me. And so for all my fellow light workers and healers, especially those of you that are feeling some type of way in your business because you're confused about okay, well, I'm supposed to charge more. Yes, girl. Oh, God, I love you so much. Because of what society tells you need to do to scale a business. And all the while you're like, I don't have a business, I have a ministry. And whether that word ministry aligns with you, because you don't go to church, I don't know what a practice. I don't have a business, I have a practice, which is still a business. But when we can define what we do on our own terms, I think that's where the magic comes in. When we can release the need to have to perform in the way that entrepreneurs traditionally perform, I think that's when we get to fully thrive. So I'm about to get this workout in, and I'm literally at my old job, my old gym that I used to train at. I'm about to walk in there and ask them, do you have room for a part-time trainer? Because I know that I'll be able to show up better as a healer when I'm not worried about, oh my gosh, hold on, I'm not going to stop. Y'all can't stop us. No, we're not. Yes, I don't want to treat people like numbers. I hated words like lead gen. Like, we got to generate leads. I'm like, you mean humans? You mean I need to build relationships with humans? Because that resonates more with me than generating leads. That resonates more with me than how many more dollars can I get in my yes, I need dollars in my business, but I also don't want to be attacked. I don't want to view it through that lens. I don't want people to be numbers in the bank account. I want to see lives transformed. So anywho, I'm about to go in here and see, because my picture's on the wall here, because I did good work when I was here. I helped a lot of people get some physical transformation. So I'm about to take my black ass in here and be like, hey, you see that picture on the wall of me, of the trainer? Hey, do you want me back? I promise you I'll bring you business. And I'm still going to continue to do my light work online and help as many women as possible and build this platform. So that's my 2 cents on that. I really wanted to say that because I know that there are a lot of women who have their businesses and are ashamed because they didn't reach the pinnacle of success in 6 months, 9 months, or a year that their business coach told them that they would get if they paid $5,000. And as a healer and a light worker, I also don't want to be that person that is like, hey, I'm promising you results and 9 months. Yeah, business ethics is my jam. Let's do it. Ask the team. Whenever I'm making a decision, I pause. I'm like, is that ethical? Does that sound right? I was like, yeah. Am I going to be able to sleep at night if we do that? Okay. Right. And a lot of people don't have that. And I refuse to shift that. Before this, I was listening to a podcast, my girl, Natasha Storm, and she was talking about how when you're creating the life that you want to live, it's going to take a lot of integrity and it's going to feel very uncomfortable. And I have remained integral to the life that I want to create. And it's taking longer to create than the people around me who have built theirs faster, but I can't speak for them. I can only speak for myself. I want to be a woman of integrity. I want to do what God has called me to do. And I don't want to leave a trail of broken women behind me who that's a big thing. I don't want to leave a trail of broken women behind me who are watching me live my successful life while they're still not reaching the goals that I promised I would help them reach by charging them insane amounts of money. Because that's how I feel. And I know that that's how many so many other women, and I know this, I'm not just assuming it. I've had these conversations with women who hired these coaches, who hired these people. I had a woman who paid $20,000 for a life coaching certification, not even for business coaching, but for a certification, and she never got, obviously she didn't make the return on investment, and that's not what we're here to do. We're here to help transform lives, not bankrupt the women whose lives are here to transform. So if your healing takes you 3 months, if your healing takes you 6 months, if your healing takes you 2 years, I have women that I have been working with ongoing for years, and they are happy clients, and they're happily there because they're watching the work. I don't want to put a time frame on how long it takes a woman to heal, and that's why I have to go back and get a part-time job so that I can build my stability while I help them do theirs without treating them like a number and without attaching my success to their success. And that's the T. So I'm going to run inside. Thank you so much, ladies, for tuning into this. If you're a light worker and you're a healer and this resonated with you, I would love to hear more in the DMs. If you're someone who's like, yeah, I'm one of those people that is watching, never mind, let me not stir up any drama. But like, if you felt activated in any way about this conversation, I would love to keep, like Catherine said, I would love to hold that space for you and at least let you air it out, because I know how it can be conflicting to see someone that you look up to and that you love, but to also feel like you were wronged in a way. And maybe you just need to talk through and kind of work through that process and kind of understand what was really happening there. Anywho, let me go get this workout in, and let me go see if I can return to one of my own stopping grounds and go back to what I love doing without stressing, you know. So I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, I didn't hit the stop button at all.